It is time. A Nintendo Direct is finally here, and I think that Nintendo is ready to bring the hype and that they have a few bombshells up their sleeves ready to drop on us at this Direct. I'm ready to see what they have for us, but what would make this the perfect Direct? Join me today as we dream up the perfect Nintendo Direct. What's up, everyone? This is Justin, and welcome to Just Keep Playing. Now, what might make this the perfect Nintendo Direct for me might not be the perfect Direct for you. I mean, after all, we all have our favorite Nintendo franchises, our favorite games, and the games that we hope to see show up. So, let me know in the comments below what would make this the perfect Nintendo Direct for you. Now, when I say the perfect Nintendo Direct, I do still want to keep things realistic. So everything that I mentioned in today's video are things that I absolutely believe we have a chance of seeing happen at the Nintendo Direct. The Direct is going down this Friday, September 12th at 6 a.m. PT, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So first up, we got to talk about the opener and the closer, the two of the most important positions of the Nintendo Direct. The opener sets the tone where you see something exciting, you're like, all right, you already got your hype going and you're just ready to just be blown away for the rest of the show. And then your closer, it gives you something to leave hyped on, perhaps a little tease of the future to have you something to look forward to in the year to come. So for a potential opener, it would be cool to see. I could see them opening up with more information on Splatoon Raiders and maybe let us get a date for that game, especially if it might be a surprise 2025 release. But what I really would love to see and really hope to see open the show is the next game from the GOATs at Monolith Soft, and for it to be a brand new IP that they're working on. We already know, we've heard the rumors and the reports that Monolith Soft has been working on a new IP now for years, and they've been done with Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for several years now, so they should be well underway with their next project. They've been sharing a lot of stuff on Twitter lately, showing the different positions that they're hiring for and what you would be doing on those positions and kind of how those positions related to previous Monolith Soft games. So that lets me know that they're trying to ramp things up on whatever it is that they are working on. And so I would love to see something brand new from them that will blow our minds, to show what is possible for them to do with something as capable as the Nintendo Switch 2 under their hands. They already did amazing things with the Nintendo Switch with the most goated trilogy of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 through 3. And what they were able to accomplish on that system was a thing of beauty. But imagining what they could do with a system with the power of a Nintendo Switch 2 under their hands, that is the thing that dreams are made of. And I'm ready for them to make our dreams come true at this Nintendo Direct. And speaking of Monolith Soft, we're going to be talking about them a little bit later in a special Nintendo Switch 2 edition that would be really amazing to see from. And then for the closer, so there have been several rumors as well going around about maybe this Nintendo Direct might be it may also act as the Super Mario Brothers Anniversary Direct, with rumors of a Super Mario Galaxy 2 remaster going around, which it would be amazing to finally have that game available on the Switch 2, but that definitely wouldn't be hype enough to close the show. So yes, it would be cool for them to show us this Super Mario Galaxy 2 remaster, and even better with a release of coming out soon this September, please. That would be cool. But then to follow it up with a nice little brief teaser for the next brand new, huge 3D Mario game. Give us just a little taste of what's to come. Hope maybe put a year on there saying 2026 just to get us even more hyped. That would be so exciting and the perfect game to close out the Nintendo Direct on. And then we need to talk about more of that Nintendo first party goodness that they have for us and some things that they need to clean up. We need to know what's going on with Metroid. We need that date for that and for Hyrule Warriors to see what's going on with that game and so much more. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. But first, if you're enjoying this video and if you're excited for this Nintendo Direct, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and join me as we talk about all the exciting goodness and fallout that comes from this Nintendo Direct. All right, let's talk about this Nintendo first party goodness. And we'll kick things off with Metroid because, hey, what else is there that is left to be said about what we need to see from Metroid from Nintendo? So, yes, for Metroid Prime 4, give us a quick little teaser trailer showing us the release date for the game coming out this year, like say maybe early November. That would make for an awesome birthday present for me. I'm just saying that would be cool. And then go ahead and follow that up with the announcement of a Metroid Prime 4 Nintendo Direct coming sometime in October, and then follow that up with the shadow drop of the games we have been waiting for years now, and that is the shadow drops for Metroid Prime 2 and 3 with a physical coming out maybe at a later date. I'll double dip on it. It's cool, you know, but that's all we need to see. That's all we need from Metroid Prime 4. And then we have to talk about Fire Emblem. Another long rumored game for so many years now has been the remake of Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War. Insiders like Nate the Hate say that this is a real game, that it exists. So let us see it at this Nintendo Direct. Show us that it's real and show us that maybe why it took so long for it to show up is that now it turned into a Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Yes, let it also come out on the original Nintendo Switch, but I want to see that Nintendo Switch 2 edition with the Nintendo Switch 2 enhanced features like some mouse control mode implementations, and just show us the best looking Fire Emblem game that we have ever seen. But don't stop there. Let's just go ahead and have us a little Fire Emblem blowout at this Nintendo Direct. They already showed us that on the GameCube Nintendo Classic app that we are going to be getting Fire Emblem Path of the Radiance. So at this Nintendo Direct, show us the date of when you will be dropping Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, one of my favorite games of all time, and I think maybe my favorite Fire Emblem game of all time. So it would be really cool to know that we will have access to that game really soon. And then in addition to that, let's get some more Nintendo Switch 2 editions for Fire Emblem Three Houses and Fire Emblem Engage. Again, also putting in some mouse control modes for those games with some increased resolution and just making those games look better and perform better. That would be awesome. But again, don't stop there. Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War, while it will be a brand new game to many of us over here because it never released in the West, it still is a remake. So it would be really cool also just to see a tease of a brand new Fire Emblem to be coming sometime soon on the Nintendo Switch 2. And we talked about Monolith Soft earlier, but speaking of some Nintendo Switch 2 editions, this would for sure be the perfect Nintendo Direct if we were to get the announcement of a Nintendo Switch 2 edition for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, give us some quality of life features for the game, update the graphics and performance and resolution to just give us a little taste of what Monolith Soft will be able to do with the Nintendo Switch 2. And then while we're at it, let's go ahead and give us some Nintendo Switch 2 enhanced backwards compatibility updates for Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 3, and X. We've heard the reports of data mines from Xenoblade Chronicles X showing that there's a 60 frame per second mode locked away in there. So it's time to unlock that and give us those enhanced versions of all the Xenoblade Chronicles games on the Nintendo Switch 2. And then Nintendo is always working on something with Platinum Games, and we have yet to see them show up on the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, news broke just the other day about Nintendo updating their trademarks, I believe it was, for a few games, with one of those games being Astral Chain. Now, that doesn't always mean that something is coming, but please let that mean that something is coming for Astral Chain. If there is one thing that would take this from a good to great direct to even an S tier direct, would be an announcement for Astral Chain 2, and to go along with that, another Nintendo Switch 2 edition upgrade for the original Astral Chain, again bumping up that resolution and performance and just whatever else enhancements they can put in there, some quality of life features. Just take that game to the next level and give it another chance at life. And while we're talking about Platinum Games, let's go ahead and do some enhanced backwards compatibility updates for Bayonetta 3 and take that again to the next level and help give that game another chance. And we've already mentioned enhanced backwards compatibility and Nintendo Switch 2 editions a lot already. So just while we're talking about that, just go ahead and announce the next lineup of enhanced backwards compatibility updates and Switch 2 editions that we have to look forward to. And then the next thing from Nintendo that would help make this the perfect Nintendo Direct would be to show us the promise of a new franchise revival on the Nintendo Switch 2. We saw a lot of franchises get to have their chance to shine and to grow on the Nintendo Switch, but there were a few that were still missing. And the big two for me for franchise revivals would be to see something from Star Fox and Golden Sun. Now we got a maybe, I don't know, a little tease maybe for something Golden Sun, where Nintendo, they just updated the Nintendo Music app with music from the Golden Sun games, and they put all of the Golden Sun GBA games on the Nintendo Switch online. So it's like they've been prepping us a little bit for some Golden Sun goodness. So it'll be really cool to see Golden Sun show up somehow, some way, whether if it's a remake or a new game. New game would always be preferable, but it would be really cool to see a remake as well. And then Star Fox, that has been a series that has been struggling to find a foothold in this new era of Nintendo. It was a big franchise and big games back in the day, starting with the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64. And then there were some cool and good Star Fox games on the GameCube, but the Star Fox 64 was its peak. I know on the Wii U, that Star Fox game, it has its fans, people that really like that game, but that game did not set the world on fire. So I want to see Star Fox get back to its glory days, back when Star Fox was a major franchise for Nintendo. And Star Fox was one of those series that didn't really get a whole lot of love on the Nintendo Switch. We got Star Fox involved in that Ubisoft game, but we never got a a built for the Nintendo Switch Star Fox game. So it would be really cool to see a brand new Star Fox game that is universally loved by Star Fox fans and helps bring that franchise back to life. And then we need to talk about what games from third parties would make this the perfect Nintendo Direct. So there's a lot of potential exciting things that we could see from third parties that would really make this Direct perfect. And to start things off with the third parties, we have to talk about Capcom. Now the rumors have already started buzzing and percolating with Capcom about Resident Evil, and that pretty much all the Resident Evils are going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. But mainly what I want to see, like, yes, I want to see all of them, give us all of them. But the one I really want to see, in addition to Resident Evil 9, the brand new one that's coming out soon, let me see that Resident Evil 4, but not just a straight up port. I want them to put some effort into this game and make some use of the Nintendo Switch 2. So give us that, show us a Resident Evil 4 port coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, or just do this for all the Resident Evils, but give us the gyro aiming, gyro control, make some mouse mode implementations. Just, actually show us that we're not just getting the game, but that you're putting a little bit of effort into the Switch 2 versions of Resident Evil. That would be great. And then Final Fantasy VII and Elden Ring are two of the big third-party games that people are waiting to find out more information on. We were able to see some gameplay updates for those games, but now we need to know what is going on with release dates. We've been told that definitely that Final Fantasy VII, the remake, that is coming out this year. So when we'll be able to play that game? The rest of the year is already getting pretty stacked and packed, and so when we're going to find time for all of these games, I don't even know. But yes, when will we be able to play Final Fantasy VII and Elden Ring on the Nintendo Switch 2? So I would really love to see release dates for them, and if they want to take those announcements for those games to the next level, show us that they are going to be complete on cartridge as well. That would be really cool. And then speaking of release dates, what's going on with Hades 2? Is that game going to come out this year? And is that going to be another indie game that's going to come out and maybe give Silk Song a run for its money as the top indie game of the year? The original Hades is one of my favorite action games of all time. So the sooner that I can get my hands on the sequel, the better. So it would be really cool to be able to play this game this year. So let us know what's going on with Hades 2 at this Nintendo Direct. And then Sega and Atlas have already been showing a lot of love on the Nintendo Switch 2. And we got that Persona 3 Reloaded coming out soon. I think that's a October game, if I'm not mistaken. But the game that I am really waiting to see from Atlas is the Switch 2 version of Metaphori Fantasio. So it would be really cool to see that game be acknowledged by Atlas at the Nintendo Direct. There are also rumors that the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, that would be coming out on the Nintendo Switch 2, that we should be expecting information on Red Dead 2 coming up soon. So seeing those games there would be really cool. The developers behind Clair Obscure Expedition 33, one of my favorite games from this year, they've been talking a lot recently about perhaps getting the game onto other platforms. So I don't know if it's too early for us to be able to see something on it, but if we were able to get a little tease of that game coming out onto the Nintendo Switch 2, that would be really exciting as well. And then what's going on with Microsoft? We got the announcement for Indiana Jones earlier, but what we're all wanting to see, what everybody's been waiting for, is to see Halo show up. If the Halo Master Chief Collection was to show up at this Nintendo Direct, that would definitely be a huge bombshell. And you add all of that up, and To me, you got the perfect Nintendo Direct with a lot of exciting announcements across both Nintendo and third parties, increasing our hype and anticipation for games coming out this year, and also keeping that excitement going for games that are going to be coming out next year as well. But what would make this the perfect Nintendo Direct for you? Make sure you let me know in the comments below. What are you hoping to see at the Nintendo Direct? And speaking of exciting games, make sure to check out this video right here where we talk about Hollow Knight Silksong and whether or not if it lived up to the hype after spending the weekend playing this game. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. Always remember to pick up a controller and just keep playing. And I'll see you later. Have a good one. Peace.